Who the hell am I? But yeah, definitely overrated.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Machines, like when it comes to free weights versus barbells, dumbbells, machines, I'm not comparing all of them necessarily, but just like exercise machines.
What I think is overrated, people's opinions on the difference between free weights and machines. I think that's the overrated thing. The other day I heard a young trainer, a nice kid, and he was trying to learn more about the profession. I hope he watches this video because he was asking all the other trainers in the gym. He said, "What's your favorite machine in the gym?" And I then thinking about the question, I was like, I get the Miss Mona Lisa Vito. Is that her name? From My Cousin Vinny, remember? It's a bullshit question. Remember that part that won her the Oscar? It's a BS question because the reality is there is no favorite machine because then you're a terrible trainer who's putting your bias on everybody else. Favorite machine for what? If I've got a client who's got high blood pressure and I can't have them do proper core stabilization on free weight exercises, I'm going to put in a machine so a great deal of the chance of them holding their breath and spiking their blood pressure and stroking them out is going to be taken away by having them stabilize in a machine. If I've got someone who's got terrible levers for weightlifting, they've got long arms and long limbs, the machines are some of the best things, especially, oh my God, isolation machines, pec decks and leg extensions are some of the best pieces of equipment for that build mass because they're not very well built for building muscle based on their levers with free weights. The leg press, if I've got a long-legged client, right, I will tell you right now, if I got a guy training, he's about 6'4", I'm 5'9". We are the same height sitting down. How is that possible? Because he's got really, really long femurs. He's 7 inches taller than I am, but we're the same height sitting down. He's got long femurs, which means when he barbell squats, yeah, he can put weightlifting shoes on him. Yeah, he can rotate his feet out. Yeah, he can make his feet wide. And guess what? It's still a low back exercise. He will do nothing to develop his quads. You put him on a leg press, and he's like the Mozart of leg exercises. I mean, it's just this beautiful, smooth, huge range of motion this guy has, right? So just the argument as to free weights versus machines, for who and for what purpose? I just told you I was walking a dog the other day, today. He saw a bicycle and he got excited, and dumbass me wasn't prepared, and I twisted my back, right? That means when I go in on Monday, the odds of me going and grabbing a pair of 100-pound incline dumbbells, lying back on an incline or flat bench with a pair of dumbbells and then pressing them out for reps is about, it's the biological value of collagen protein. It's 0, right? Because just the fact of picking those weights up, sitting down, lying down with them, cleaning them, my back is going to go into spasms, right? It'll feel better by the end of the day, but it's not going to be ready for something like that. So in that case, an incline machine where the weight's already set up for me, and all I do is push the lever to get the weight in place, it's going to be much more forgiving on my 48-year-old arthritic spine, right? Because it's not the years, it's the miles. So it's so context dependent that when you ask me whether it's machines versus free weights, or even just what's my favorite machine, I need to know who you're talking about in what instance. Most beginners, what are you going to do? You're going to teach them the barbell squat, barbell bench press, and barbell deadlift. They're going to get no stimulation for 2 to 6 weeks before you can get those exercises done adequately. I'd rather put that some person while I'm teaching them the deadlift, or teaching them the press, or teaching them the squat, put them on a leg extension, leg curl, chest press, lat pull down, seated row, side raise machine, shoulder press machine, bicep curls with a cable. Stuff that's so simple and easy for them to balance, they can actually start overloading their muscle tissue from day one. So it's not just that machines versus free weights are overrated. The whole concept, the whole argument is it tells me the person saying it is overrated, because obviously they don't train anybody. They can't. No trainer worth their salt can come out and tell you that this is a superior form of exercise, because you've met too many people who don't fit within your narrow realm or definition of what is the ideal exercise. You just can't. It's not going to happen. So no, holy, the question, let me tell you something, Devin. In my basement right now, there is a 1970s issue of Muscle Builder Power. And it has a rusty old kettlebell, and it has a dumbbell, and then it has this like quasi-electronic machine in it. And the article says, it says kettlebells used to be used for exercise, and then they were replaced by the superior dumbbell. And now the dumbbell will be replaced by superior machines. And you will see in the next 30 or 40 years the absence of dumbbells. And if you're lucky, if it says in the article, you're lucky if you could find a kettlebell anywhere in your gym other than hold a door open. All right. It said that about kettlebells, right? Kettlebells are everywhere now, right? Despite the fact they're not really the most efficient thing for most exercises. And dumbbells are still in gyms, and machines have taken their proper context. But this was an article written saying that machines were becoming so evolved and so advanced that they were going to completely replace dumbbells, and no one was ever using kettlebells, because who in their right mind would use kettlebells, right? It's just, it's a nature of the industry. It's a nature of human overreaction. And yeah, no, give me the individual, give me the context, and I can find you people where machines are 10,000 times better than free weights. Likewise, give me the individual, give me the scenario, and I can find areas where free weights are 10,000 times better than machines. It comes down to what you need to use it for. And I gave some specific examples right there. If you have an athlete who needs to be able to stabilize their body mass while moving through space and does not need to recover from other exercise, then free weights are going to be far superior for that athlete in the most part. But yeah, that's my stance on that.
Yeah. I think machines are underrated, because it just for the for what you were talking about, like being able to stabilize your spine and actually stimulate the muscle tissue that you want to stimulate, rather than, like, let's say leg extensions. I don't know. For me, leg extensions versus like barbell back squats, I'm just going to have a hard time building my quads on a barbell back squat. Whereas with a machine leg extension, my quads are more isolated and I can actually load them up. So that's just one example. Just because of my structure and how I squat, it's just going to be mostly glutes when I squat. So yeah, so a leg extension machine is good for me. So, but yeah, so just in general, they're really good to stabilize and actually load up the muscles that you want to build. So yeah, I would say machines are underrated.
I'll find a lot of times the trainers who are most loud on this topic are either trainers with their own studio who can't afford machines. They're functional training gurus whose entire business model revolves around free weights and, to a degree, cables, right? So they have to poo-poo that, and they don't want to spend $50,000 to open a facility by buying a circuit of machines. And again, then you talk about, like, for example, I was working with a lady the other day, and she was having foot and calf problems. And then when we got her to do things like split squats, so she couldn't stabilize her thigh bone in her hip. The inner outer thigh machine is not going to do anything to help solve that problem. So in that case, doing body weight lunges and split squats and getting her to properly stabilize her foot by using a band to pull her leg in and out to get her to kind of work on her corrections, that was superior, because her problem wasn't that she had weak hips. It's that her hips were weak relative to their ability to control her foot. So in that case, yeah, the free weight exercise, in this case, body weight exercise, was by far superior to the inner outer thigh. But if this woman was so weak that she couldn't even do the split squats, I sure as hell would have started her out on an inner outer thigh leg extension, leg curl, to help her build the strength, build the muscle, and then practice the pattern while holding on to a Smith machine, or God forbid that, or a spar and a squat rack, and practicing the split squat so she gets the skill of the exercise. But yeah, that's just another example of where, yeah, the machine is inferior, but maybe necessary in the beginning to help get someone to the point where then they can take advantage of for the goal, much more superior equipment.
Yeah.
Like inner outer thigh, your foot's just kind of hanging there, and your inner outer thigh is working like this. Your abductors and adductors are inner thigh, right? Your adductors add to the body. Your abductors pull away from the body. They're doing nothing as far as their quote unquote functional ability to control your foot to stabilize on the ground. But, some people just need to build muscle mass. Some people need to be able to get in tune with those muscles where they can then use it in an integrated environment like a split squat. So no, I usually find that the people who are most loud on the other side of the issues are clubs that have bought hundreds of thousands of dollars of exercise equipment and have to justify it, or trainers who can't afford that stuff and want to justify why they don't have it. Yeah. If you have the tool and it's appropriate to you, then use it. Or it's part of their business model. Look, we use machines because we're, functional. It's like,